Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Saturday, the 11th of November 2023. In today's Millwall news, it was match day, the first match day of the Joe Edwards experience, and it was a win. It was a 4-0 win. It was something to see. I didn't expect this. I listened to the game and I've seen the highlights. But I'll have to watch the full match replay back to see how we played compared to how we played before. It does seem that things have changed. But again, I feel like a bit of a bogeyman putting the brakes on. It was Sheffield Wednesday. They're basically a League One team. They're the worst team in this league. They will 100% get relegated. If the betting hasn't been suspended and Paddy Power haven't paid out already, then I'm sure they will soon. So we have to wait and see again. But this is good because 100% certainly, if Gary Rowett was in charge of this game, we would not be getting a 4-0 result. We simply wouldn't. Yeah. So this is the match report from millfc.co.uk. Millwall were 4-0 winners at Sheffield Wednesday in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoon. Murray Wallace, George Saville, Wes Harding and Brooke Norton-Cuffy were all on target as the Lions eased to a victory over the division's bottom side at Hillsborough. Joe Edwards made one change to his starting 11 for the trip to Hillsborough, replacing Danny McNamara, who dropped to the bench, with Ryan Longman. Not position-wise, just one in, one out. Longman wasn't playing right back. Longman was playing outside left. Playing right back was Brooke Norton-Cuffy. After the Remembrance commemorations were perfectly observed, the Edwards era got underway. The Owls began on top and forced the Lions back into their own penalty area, but without Bartosz Biaskowski being tested. Meanwhile, at the other end, George Honeyman's free kick fizzed across the Wednesday penalty area, but was gathered by Cameron Dawson without a further touch. Millwall were finding joy through Zion Fleming in the middle of the park, but after the Dutchman received the ball on 17 minutes and charged towards the box, he was denied by a tackle from Bambo Diaby. The Lions were growing into the game as the midway point of the half approached, but were just about unable to make the ball stick inside the 18-yard box. Despite some smart build-up play, Jake Cooper, however, had to stick out a long leg to prevent a clear run on goal for the hosts with 26 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes later, Wednesday could, and perhaps should, and put themselves into the lead following a cheap concession of possession in the centre circle by the Lions. But after the Owls broke forward, Anthony Musaba's close-range effort was wild and sailed way over the bar. There were 31 minutes played though when the deadlock was broken and it was smashed apart by Millwall as Honeyman's pinpoint corner was met by an unmarked Wallace who headed home to make it 1-0. Yes. And what I would say with that, it looks like they've taken Adam Barrett off the corners because that was not one of his routines. That was the kind of thing that you do see at Premier League Cubs back in the day. I don't know if they still do it now. Basically, I don't know what you'd call it, the lump. There's basically a lump of players all together on round about the D. And then some of them go to the front post, some of them go to the back post, and old Murray Wallace goes in the middle. Boom, there you go. So that was not one. That's not one that we've done under Adam Barrett. So I assume he's been taken off of that, or they've just added that to the repertoire. It could have been two shortly after, but after a free kick was nodded on and into the path of Harding, his flick towards the net was hurried clear by flustered Wednesday defence. That back line was tested once again seconds later as a failure to clear almost let Tom Bradshaw into poke home from yards out. But 3 minutes from the break, there was nothing they could do about Saville's wonderful half volley from the edge of the area to make it 2-0. A fluff corner from the host then almost allowed Norton-Cuffy a clear run on goal as the first half came to a close, but the attack was eventually crowded out by defence as the Lions went in 2 to the good at the half-time whistle. A triple substitution for the hosts at half-time did not matter a jot for the Lions, as with 52 minutes played, Harding was able to poke home a third goal as he struck into the net on the rebound after Bradshaw's initial effort was stopped by Dawson. Despite the 3-goal advantage, Millwall still had some defending to do as a double block ensured Biakovsky's sheet was kept clean on the hour mark before the pole had to spring into action to save a duo of shots as the Owls looked for a way back into the game. Fleming crosses, Casper North struck at the other end, but it was blocked as Millwall hunted more. They got just that with 18 minutes left to play as Norton Cuffy beat his man and stroked home the Lions' fourth of the afternoon. Idomu Umaku, Billy Mitchell, Ryan Led and Kevin Nisbet were all brought on late, with the latter of that quartet guiding an effort just wide of the far post as time ticked away. A free Sheffield Wednesday header went wide in 5 minutes of stoppage time, with referee Gavin Ward blowing time, and a big Millwall win not long after. And the team was Biakowski, Norton Cuffy, Harding, Cooper, Wallace, Honeyman, Denor, Saville, Longman, Fleming and Bradshaw, and the subs was, so interestingly, how the subs are done, because Gary Rowett had a pretty standard formula, which he didn't deviate from. So we have the new guy making the full 5 subs, so the full complement in 3 rounds. On the 76th minute, he brought Mitchell on for Saville, and on the 76th minute, he brought Umaku on for Longman. On the 68th minute, so that was before he brought SA on for Honeyman. And on the 84th minute, he brought Leonard on for Norton Cuffy, and he brought Nisbet on for Bradshaw. And the unused subs were Truman, McNamara, Hutchison, and Campbell. So there you go. Is this worth looking at? I don't know. Cooper and Saville were booked. And there were 1,564 Millwall fans there. So lovely jubbly. Yeah, like I said, I didn't expect that. I showed you in yesterday's video that our record at we've only won like 3 times at Hillsborough, and this is the 4th. So, and that's over about 25 games. So this is a decent win. But like I said, it was good. It was good. But it's the worst team in the league. But here's the thing: it doesn't matter, because you still got to go there. You still got to win. They could have had that chance that they could have scored first, and then that probably would have got everyone's arseholes twitching. But they didn't. So we got a bit of luck, and then we just took our chances, and we kept going. Can you imagine under Gary Rowett when we're 2-0 up at half time? Like, we wouldn't have kept going in the second half. We would have been backs to the wall. Let's defend. Let's defend. Let's defend. Even against the shittest team in the league. So yeah, this is it. +4 and a goal difference, 3 points. Fantastic stuff. And we now have to see the next game out. Can we match that? Now, some post-match comments from the new guy. From southernnews.co.uk, a performance that shows a bit of everything. Joe Edwards analyses the things that impressed him most during a storming 4-0 Millwall win at Sheffield Wednesday away. It could hardly have gone better for the new Millwall boss, managing his first game in senior football. Joe Edwards says he was absolutely delighted with the Millwall's performance in their 4-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday, but admitted he would have taken any win in his first game in charge. The 37-year-old was managing for the Lions for the first time after being appointed head coach and couldn't have wished for a better start at Hillsborough. After a cagey opening in half an hour against the Championship bottom side, Millwall took the lead through Murray Wallace's header before George Saville scored a screamer to make it 2-0. After half-time, Wes Harding scored his 3rd goal. Why am I reading all this? I've just read this. We want the manager's quotes. Reacting after the game, Edwards said, "I really enjoyed the performance, I enjoyed the result as well. I thought as much as this is a fresh start for me and Andy Myers joining, it's a bit of a new dawn, I suppose. It's still a team in the thick of a championship season. We're 15 games in and we've gone a while without a win, so it was important first and foremost to come here and try and get that win. To be honest, as much as we want to move forward with the style of play, we would have taken a win today. However, it would have come, but when you do that, you've got to put a performance that shows a bit of everything and becomes really dominant with some good goals and varied goals. Yes, I'm absolutely delighted." Asked if he expected such an eye-catching win in his first game in charge, he said, "You can never expect to turn up to any game, particularly an away game in the Championship, win 4-0, but I would say all the different elements that pleased me in terms of defensively, we showed grit and determination in the first 20 minutes of the game, when it was tough. You have to weather the storm here, it's tough, then you have to show some composure, to play at the right time, and then that expression and clinical nature that we showed around the goal today. I know there's that in the squad. I know they can do that, and that's why I was really excited and grateful about the opportunity to come and work with them. It's now just about making sure we harness the real basics that the lads are typically good at from what I see, and then just try and add to it. On the style of play and changes that he's made so far, Edwards said, today we worked heavily on what we look like in possession and what we do when we have the ball, being calm, looking to have a bit more of it, but not overplaying the wrong areas. We're doing it all for the sake of getting our forward players better possession in the areas where they can show what they're about. The reason I felt confident enough to just focus in one area in training, I'm not coming into a brand new team and starting from scratch. I'm coming into a team that do a lot of the basics of football well, in my opinion. So that was the platform to our performance today. We can look back on clips now where they were playing good football and some of the goals, but ultimately it was a tough opening 15-20 minutes, and the lads did well to ride it out. The new Millwall manager was also impressed with his goalkeeper Bartosz Białkowski, who pulled some impressive second half saves to keep Wednesday 2-0. He said, Bart's been fantastic in recent games, making some big saves, and the same again today. Even at the end, where even if one of those goes in, we probably still win the game, but we all know what football's like. We all have high standards, and when you're winning 4-0, you want to hold on to that. To show the levels of focus that he did at the back and pull the saves off, it was great. On the incredible reception he received from the fans after the game, Edwards said, yeah, it was incredible. To be honest, I came out before the game in a warm-up to say hello to the fans, and the reception I got there was fantastic. Some of my first time of meeting the fans in person, I couldn't be more grateful for the reception. The support to travel up here in the numbers they did and the support they gave to the team was incredible, so hopefully now we'll be able to consolidate that and create even more noise at the Den the next time we see them. Indeed. So there you go. Now we've got the quotes from post-match quotes from the South London Press. I pulled them up. I haven't read them yet. It may well be the same. It does look like it is the same. Yeah, I think it is exactly the same. So yeah, I imagine they'll put the rest of it out over the next couple of days, because obviously it's an international break in it now. So I imagine they want to milk this game for as long as they can. The post-match comments from it and whatnot, because they've got a week off. So we'll see in tomorrow's video if there's any more stuff being put up in the morning, and maybe on Monday as well. But for today's video, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.